Know who we are. Let's start this out with Commissioner Winters. If you can lead us in a moment of prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to put people's business. Thank you. It's the problem. All those boy for Christ.
All right. No.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, I'm going to move along a little bit, and that's because we've got a commission meeting coming up shortly. Approval for January 27 minutes. Do I have a motion for that?
Second.
Howard made the motion, second by Commissioner Winters. All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. And we're going to jump straight to the agenda. EMS. Mr. Guerin. Collections. How are we doing on collections? I noticed we changed companies.
I think we're actually in the process of looking at that. I think there's a resolution on the agenda for the full commission later. As far as collections, I can speak on our past fiscal year. We were budgeted, or projected to hit 4.5. When the final numbers shook out on our side, we come in just a little right at 4.8 million. However, I think there's some adjustments that has to be made through the finance department, different things of that nature. But from the numbers that we've ran, we come in real close to 4.8 for the fiscal year.
What is our outstanding billing so far?
I don't have that information, sadly. With this company that we're currently with, there's such a lag time. It's like 3 months. So I don't have an up-to-date number, sadly. That's one of the caveats of if we look at going to this other company, we'll be able to have some real-time data. So I can give you up-to-date numbers, more accurate up-to-date numbers as we go forward.
Yes. Mr. Guerin, just not to say anything, I don't want you to get upset about this at all, but it's been since January that we had our last meeting, and typically it's nice to see a document. There should be something here showing a positive and negative, basically where we've gained, what we haven't.
Sure.
And it's something I don't know if we typically get the documentation showing that.
And I apologize for that. I'm still kind of in the new learning process.
I understand. That's the reason I brought that up. It wasn't to say or get onto you or anything like that. That's not what it was meant for.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
And our staffing, how are we doing?
Well, all in all, we're doing pretty good. We're at 61 full-time staff members. I think that leaves us, we have 64 positions. So we just basically have 3 vacancies right now. We have several. We have one of our recipients of the Danny Lawson Scholarship Award just completed medic school, along with I've got 3 others that attended school. They've completed the program. They've passed their practicals. Now they're just waiting to take their written exams. So hopefully we'll have us 4 new paramedics on the streets very soon. We've also, for this fall, we've got 2 that were received the scholarship. They've actually, I believe school starts today for those folks. So we've got 2 going on a scholarship, and I've got 4 other crew members that's going on their own. So, God keeps shining on us. Hopefully this time next year we'll have us 6 more paramedics. So we're very fortunate and thankful for that scholarship award in the county and Cleveland State and the work that Chief Fairbanks did with getting that set up. And this year we had some folks that took advantage of it, and we're excited. We're excited about it. But all in all, we're like I say, we just basically have 3 vacancies.
That's really great. Let me back up a little bit. Is there any questions about collections or staffing?
Glad we don't have any problem.
Well, thankfully, we still have to fight the, I've got 2 that's out on personal injuries. Very, very sorry for those folks, but thank God they weren't workers' comp injuries. So I have 2 out on personal injury. I've got 2 out on workers' comp, and I've had a couple staff members drop down from full-time to part-time. They're pursuing nursing careers. Excuse me. And well, I've had 1 drop down to part-time to pursue the nursing career. Another one has moved to night shift. And I had another crew member go to part-time to go to paramedic school. So it's, you know, it's an up and down, ebb and flow, but we've been able to fill in those gaps with our part-time folks, and you know, we're thankfully, thank the Lord, we're able to keep everything running.
What's the number one reason for workman's comp? The number one
Our biggest,
back issue?
most of the workers' comp injuries we've had in the last 6 months have been basically pulled backs. They've hurt their back lifting patients. We had one, God bless him, he fell over the medical bag, was sitting in the floor, and he backed over it, didn't realize it was there. He stepped backward and fell and hurt his back. But most of the time it's pulls and strains and things of that nature.
Is there anything that they can wear to help compensate for that?
I don't know. It's really, to be honest with you, it all comes down to mechanics. Sadly, our population is quite like me or larger, and sometimes they're just in positions where you can't use proper lifting mechanics to get these folks. And you know, in the advent of the new power stretchers and the power loaders, that has taken a lot off of our crew members as far as having to lift. But when you're, you know, the patient's down inside the house, they're normally upstairs in the back bedroom or the back bathroom, and in the bathtub, and you have to be creative on. And we always have plenty of help. The fire department, especially the county and city, both assist us when we get in those situations with larger folks or just very difficult situations. So we always throw a lot of manpower at it, but you know, sadly, there's those times that those injuries happen.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let me ask two questions. One relating to collections. What timeline is norm for that? You get a report every month. You get a report every 3 months. What's the norm in getting the information reports?
I'm not very educated on that, Mr. Winters. Again, being so new to the position, this company we're with, the norm has been about a 3-month window.
Yeah.
We're in hopes and in talking with other services that use this company that we're looking at moving to, we're going to be able to have basically real-time data.
Yeah,
you know, as it gets turned in, we're going to be able. They've even got an application on the phone that I can pull up and see
What you need.
what we've billed, what's collected, where we're at. Kind of a more real time where we know where we're at.
In prior meetings, we looked at how we can kind of grow the staffing, looking at a way to get juniors in high school and and even middle school kids to take a look at the thrill of helping out in an ambulance. What drives you all to do the job you do,
Yes,
helping
sir.
people. There's a lot of our kids that want to help people.
Absolutely.
It's the how they do that. Is there in your plans and the plans that were the past? Are we kind of looking at that with PI and looking at that with the schools? I know you go out and take the fire trucks. They do, and do you do the same with? Do we do that with EMS as well? What do we do?
Yes, we've got a great system set up within the county schools and Cleveland High School.
Yeah.
We've got several of our personnel, along with Chief Stewart, goes to the high schools and they teach the emergency medical responder
Yeah.
program, which is the first step.
Yeah.
And I actually also had the honor to meet with Mr. Winnie Wittenbarger from Cleveland High School. He's over their career ed programs.
Right.
Got to tour their facility up there. Cleveland High School has got an amazing facility geared toward EMS, nursing, the healthcare profession as a whole.
Right.
And he and I met and have talked about several things, partnering up,
Right.
letting those kids come out. And so if we have a special event like the football games that we work every Friday night or anything like that, having some of those students that's involved in that program come out and hang out with us, and they can get in their hours and get in some practical applications. So we've got a good system,
Good.
I think, in place to basically grow these, because that's what we have to do now, is just basically grow our own folks and get them interested early.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to hospital wait times updates.
Let's see. Oh, I give my last one. I had to take a picture of that report. All in all, to be honest with you, things are much better. I give out a handout, and I was explaining to Chairman Hughes prior to the meeting. There for a while, I had everything broken down by day and month, and I just have to apologize to the committee. I've not had time really I was keeping up with that myself. They are still clocking in and out in the ER with the time cards. But we did a collaborative effort. I met with Tenova this past week. We kind of looked at all the data that we have collected. And I won't read this to you verbatim. Each one of you have this in front of you. But, well, actually, I'll just kind of go over it. Since January, basically the ER and EMS both have seen a 10% increase in patient volume or calls. The hospital has seen a 50% reduction in time it takes to get the patients out of the ER admitted to the floors, which has opened up, they're opening up the ER beds quicker for us to get them off our stretchers. We've seen both entities has seen 30% reduction time it takes for the non-admitted patients to be discharged. They're able to get those people in and out a little quicker, again, opening up beds. And this is more for their purposes. They've seen a great, I guess you would say, decrease in the number of people that are getting sick and tired of sitting up there for hours and hours and hours and leaving. Basically, like it says, the bottom line is we're both, they have adjusted. They're getting better staffing in the ER. There's still those days where they get hammered and we get hammered. But once again, I'm thankful to say in this period of time, we've not been delayed one time for an emergency call due to being held hostage, I guess is like for a better term. They're doing kudos to the hospital. They've really committed to working hard to help them get us out of there.
Is there a way of continuing those reports? And I don't want to overload you, but I think that it'd be something to be informal or information for us as a commission to have.
I will commit to getting back on that. Again, it's not an excuse. It was very time consuming, and I've put a lot of responsibilities on our shift commanders to help with the day-to-day operations, and of course our the billing office, they're inundated with the billing and the collections and things of that nature. So I've been very hesitant to dump more on those guys. And this is basically, I've dropped the ball on this. As far as I do keep check each and every day, I listen. And then if it is a time period where it's real busy, our supervisor goes to the hospital and ensures that, we're not standing up there. They either get the patients off our stretchers, they'll stay there for a little bit until a nurse or somebody can officially take over patient care. But they're getting the trucks in and out. So but I will commit to doing better as far as the actual hard number reporting.
Commissioner Thompson?
We have improved then.
Yes, sir. We've seen a market improvement. Again, there's days where you can absolutely drive by there, and all of our trucks may be there, but they're not staying there hours and hours and hours like we were. It's a vast improvement.
Commissioner Alford?
Yes, I had brought it up the other day in our in our work session. I think a couple of weeks ago. I think somebody come by and said, "Well, like 6 ambulances sitting there,"
Yeah.
and I just can't see that being
Well,
something that we got to get. Is this report you gave us? Is that from the hospital or from your figures?
that's a collaboration of us and the hospital, us sitting down, working it out. It's their numbers, our numbers, and just working it out together. I know optics can be there's days you're going to see 6 ambulances sitting up there. But the great thing is they're getting them out, because we've had in the last 2 weeks, we've had to reschedule. We're going to do a little thing a photo op for some of our new ambulances. Just about every day the last 2 weeks, we don't have anything available. Everything's out running. So we've been inundated, a lot of calls. So there's days you're going to see them sitting up there all at one time, but we're getting them out quicker. And they turn over, they get out of there, but then they're right back. So it looks like they're sitting up there all day, but they're coming and going. It's a vicious cycle.
Do you see a shortage of professional doctors in the emergency room in those areas?
I've not personally seen a shortage. They've got that now. I do know the hospital has gone through. They've changed their company that provides their emergency physicians. But as far as they've still got the same amount of doctors. They're getting more nurses. There's some days they have low staff, just like we do occasionally. We still have the folks who call out sick and the vacations and things of that nature. It's just it's hard to predict each and every day. We're able to maintain. We've got plenty of trucks on the road. The next day we may have 2 trucks broken down, and they may be short staffed in the ER. So it's a constant battle, but thankfully we've been able to keep up with it.
I understand they're doing away with their travel nurses, and are they going to be able to hire enough nurses to run the hospital or the emergency room with those traveling nurses available?
I certainly hope so. I'm not privy to whether I've heard talk that that's one of their plans, but I don't know their official plans as far as their staffing. But I know they have increased full-time staffing in the ER and the floors as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Commissioner Thompson?
So we're having a lot of breakdowns?
You know, again, it just comes and goes. We'll have a great week and everything's great, and then all of a sudden we have 2 or 3 at one time. It's just, these things run, as you know, 24/7, 365, and, as of today, the only unit that I have broken down was involved in an accident a couple weeks ago, which was no fault of our own, thank God. It's in the body shop for repairs as we speak. But right now, everything's running today.
Does that run you short on the ambulances most time when they break down like this?
Sometimes it does. We've been able to get the fleet built up. We've got the vans, and since November, we've been able to add 5 ambulances to the fleet. So that's took a little break, a little pressure off of us. We've got things we can get into. There for a while, when we was breaking down, we were just out of a truck. So we've been able to implement we've got some reserve trucks now. So it's helped out a lot. But we just wrecked one of our reserve trucks. So it's you never can just quite get right there 100%.
That's right. I just thought maybe everything's getting too old or something. I just wanted to check up on you there and see.
We're doing, the fleet's doing better. We do have a couple units that they'll move into reserve status as soon as we can get where I think we've got as many new ambulances as we can get right now. Next year, I believe we got something planned, I think, for maybe adding another one. But there again, we're still in that if you order it today, it might be 2026 before it shows up. So we've just been very blessed that these ambulances that we've been able to purchase were purchased by other counties, and those deals fell through and they just became available, and we were able to with the help of you as a commission and the mayor to make these purchases.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Alford.
Do y'all keep a running log of how many calls you do a day?
Yes, sir.
And what the situation was on the call, like heart attack or?
Yes,
do
sir.
y'all keep a running log of how many calls a day or how many trips?
Yes, sir. We keep up. I have access to our CAD system here in the county that tracks every call we run each and every day. And if that's something, another good report that I could start presenting to the committee.
I would love to be able to see that on a day, whenever, monthly
Yes,
or whatever,
absolutely.
because I think it's important for us to know how many calls y'all are running a day. I think it's important that the public knows how many calls y'all run in a day.
Absolutely, I agree, sir. Yes.
Commissioner Alford, you were talking about the report, the wait times earlier. I think that our what we used to get would show how many came in to the hospital, then transported. Also would, I believe it would show what they were there for and a wait time. I know I get the same questions from constituents. Why are all these ambulances up here? Are they not, are they not answering calls or this and that? I know it may be a little more trouble, but I believe for me, and this is just me personal, I don't know if everybody else would agree, but I think like a bi-weekly report sent to Lori where we could get that would be nice to have, and then that would answer a lot of questions where, no, we're getting this report. No, this is what was going on. And it was just wait times short. Now, I don't know, Lori, would we need to vote to approve something like that, or?
I think you can ask Chief Guerin to do that for you, and if he's agreeable, I think that would be fine. If there ever comes an issue when those reports aren't coming as timely as you believe that they should, then you could lock it down and formally request it. I think it's your pleasure which way you.
It's whatever. Commissioner Alford, it's up to you, honestly. I'm good with asking, but if you feel it needs to go the other way. Okay. Okay. Then in that case, we'll request a monthly report doing, or a bi-weekly, not monthly, bi-weekly report. If you can send that to Lori, just showing that information would probably save us asking you a lot of questions, truthfully.
I'd be happy to do that. That's very, that's information that I can, excuse me, that I can pull off of the CAD system, actually daily. So that's an easy report to get over.
Good, and then it'll show the wait times and things of that nature. It'll be easy for you. We already kind of touched on new ambulances. I don't know that we need to go into more detail about it, but unless anybody has questions about it.
Oh, the only thing I thought was, when I called, when I wanted to come my way, and I know everybody else feels the same way.
I believe you're right.
Absolutely. And in addition to the 5 ambulances, we've also was able to add a new command vehicle to the fleet. We got it in service, I think, about 2 weeks ago. We're in that aspect. We've been very blessed. We're finally being able to keep some things on the road.
Good. And EMA, oh, well, any other questions? Tom?
Thank you, Mike. I'm not a member of the EMS. Do have one question. Transports, Chief Garen, do y'all do transports for the hospital at all?
We do emergency transfers out of the hospital, and we still do our in-town convalescent transfers out of the hospital back to the nursing homes and things of that nature. So we still do the appropriate transfers.
If I may, let me say this, if I can elaborate just for a moment. Saturday I worked, and one of our biggest problems had just come from a building supervisor. Our transports, we wait sometimes. Now we have, what is the other service that we use for our transports?
We've got
Amble, but not just y'all, but we use other services to do our transports. And those guys get backed up too, because we do a lot of transports. And the reason I speak of this is, once we do transports and we clean out a room and we get that person transported, guess what? It frees up time that we can get those people from ER into rooms that are waiting, that make the ambulances have to wait, because we have patients that have been there for hours waiting on a room, and we're full, and we don't have staff enough to take care of so many patients. I mean, you can only put on the care of patients on one nurse. I mean, one nurse with, let's just say, the difference between a dehydration and a STEMI that just come in. On our cardiac unit, we have a lot of services that I don't think we realize that we have at the hospital. We have tons of services that take up and make it back up in the ER that causes the ambulances have to wait.
Yes.
I mean, we have services that are doing their thing out in the hospital that does cause the wait in ER. But I was just asking about that because she did mention that was a big problem, was getting transports. I mean, they'll wait 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours to transport one off the floor to make room for the ER to empty into that room. You can't put 2 patients in a single bed room.
That's correct. And if the hospital calls in an emergency transfer, our very first units that are available, I will not empty this county of ambulances. We've got to have that 911 coverage. However, if it's an emergency and we've got the appropriate staffing to cover, to backfill, we're getting them out of there as soon as possible. The non-emergency transfers, we get them when we get them. I hate to be just blunt to the point, but we've got to ensure that our citizens are protected with 911 coverage. But it's a constant battle. But we're fortunate we have several services in the area who, if we're inundated, we'll call them. Sad thing is, when we're inundated, they're inundated, so they're having to wait for our backup, basically. So it's just it's a tough time in the business across the board, and there's no easy fix for any of it, sadly.
Thank you.
Yes,
Chief
thank you,
Karen,
sir.
it led me, him bringing that up actually may remind me of something. We do these transports, and at one point, we were having an issue of not being paid for those transports, or has that got any better, or are we still having issues there?
It improved for a little while, but again, it's one of those things, there's such a lag time on us getting the data to be able to say, you know, here, it's like this past week I had a situation that was presented to me where they failed to get authorization, but it was last year. It's just now coming through the system to get to us that I know, well, they didn't do that. Anecdotally, it got better for a while, and the girls seem to think that it's kind of fell backwards, but I don't have raw data to be able to prove that. And again, hopefully that's something with the advent of this new system that I can see that quicker. But all in all, they've went through a ton of changes in the case management world up there at Tenova. A lot of, you know, you get one batch trained up and how to do the authorizations and the process, and then they're gone and they're having to retrain another batch, and so it's something that they are working on diligently with us. But again, I apologize, I can't give you just the exact number.
I will say this, if I see that, or if we see that it's an issue, we probably need to start looking at alternative ways of gathering payment for those.
I agree with that, sir, and I've looked into there is a and excuse my legalese experience, but there's a payer of last resort agreement out there. If we see that they're not improving or it's not going to get better, that's something I think we could look at as a county, entering in agreement with Tenova, this payer of last resort. If they fail to get these authorizations, and they are responsible for the money we lose on that.
I agree with you. I don't see them ever agreeing to pay something though, but that's just me. But Chief Fairbanks, do you have a question?
I wanted to make one point so that we're not forgetting something that we have said many times in these meetings, for the committee not to forget. Once the hospital calls to get that authorization, the insurance company has up to 3 hours to approve that transport. So when those 5 and 6 hour wait times are happening, it's not his fault. It's not the county's fault. It is sometimes insurance. So just keep that in mind. We've talked about that before, but these transport company approvals can take up to 3 hours. By law, they have that long to approve that. Because I remember when I was sitting in Chief Guerin's slot, getting fussed at, my crews are getting fussed at the hospital because they called it in at 2 o'clock, and we got the call at 5:30, and we show up at 5:45, and the nurses rape them and just go crazy. And then come to find out, they did call it in at 2:30 to get approved. The insurance company or approval people are responsible for calling the appropriate EMS. So that could take up to 3 hours to do, so don't forget that.
Commissioner Gilbert?
So, Chief, you're saying that if they call the ambulance service to come at 5 o'clock and they show up at 5 o'clock and then they're saying it's going to be a couple more hours, we
They
have to
don't-
sit there?
The hospital's not calling the ambulance.
Okay.
They call the transport approval company or insurance. They have to have pre-approval, prior approval, or it's not paid on non-emergencies, okay? That company that the hospital calls to get an ambulance and say, approve this person for this transport to Bradley Healthcare, okay? That company has up to 3 hours to approve that and contact Bradley County Ambulance Service. They are the ones contacting Bradley County and saying, hey, go get this patient and take them to Bradley Healthcare. There could be a 4 or 5 hour lapse, a 3 hour minimum.
And you have to be sitting there, right?
No, you get the call and you go. But he's behind the 8 ball because of the call volume.
Right.
So that may delay a little more too. Nobody's at fault. Everybody's doing their job, but it's just the way that ball's bouncing.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Me personally, I will say as much. I agree with both of you, though, that I really feel that our ambulance service main purpose is to serve the community. It's not technically there to serve the hospital. It's there for the community.
I agree.
So, anyway, EMS building maintenance.
Our building maintenance, as you know, the first phase of the Dooley Street renovation was completed. They just, in the last couple of weeks, started phase 2. Talked with the contractor. They should be finished up within the next couple of weeks with that phase, and we should be finished with the Dooley Street renovation.
Any questions? Seeing none, we're going to move to the fire department. Chief Fairbanks, let's hear about staffing.
I would like to change your agenda just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to let Chief Stewart give you all that stuff. I would like to make a comment and touch on 3 things from the things that we need to catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
It says here that the firehouse grant, we talked about it last time, that all those have came in. Those tick monitors that we got on that grant, they're on the trucks. The guys are tickled to death. They're doing a great job. So everything's going good with those. The next one was the ISO. We are officially a 3 in Bradley County now as of August 1st. So now that ISO is in effect, and everybody that helped with that, great job. But I'm proud to say that Bradley County got a 3, and hopefully it lowers some people's insurance and brings industry into the town. Whatever it does to help, I hope that is something that people are proud of. And then we reported last time that the Chatta Valley Station got a new roof, and then we had some sheetrock to do inside that got damaged. We took the tin roof off, put a shingled roof on, and then we did get M&M Construction up there to do the sheetrock in the living room and hallway that was damaged. All that's been replaced. That station is back in working order and in good standing. My other comment is it's been a privilege to work for Bradley County all my life. I started as a young man in high school. If you read that bios that they put in the banner, high school, 1990, I joined Charleston Volunteer Fire Department, and that was a great day. It's a little different now. The first time I ever walked in, Chief Thompson told me to come up front after the meeting. I was just told to go to a meeting. I went, and he said, "So you want to be a fireman?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Philip, get him some gear." And that was my, he said, "We'll do the on-the-job training." And I was glad to get it. From there, I have worked many various positions in Bradley County. And I am proud to say that all those are with great joy. I don't regret anything that I did for Bradley County. I love my town. I love the people. And it's bittersweet. It's kind of scary to retire because this is what you've done all your life, and then all of a sudden you're not going to be. So I've had the privilege of having Jeff Stewart by my side for 4 years, and he's going to do a great job. He's been running it for a little while. I've kind of told the mayor the other day I was bored because we've been letting Jeff run the helm. And this Friday will be my last day, and thank you for the opportunity that you all gave me. So with the staffing and all the other stuff that you want to know about, I'd like for Chief Stewart to give that with your permission, sir.
Yes, sir. Chief Fairbanks, well, you will definitely be missed by myself. I've worked with you for many years, and I believe you have been the chief over EMS and fire for as long as I've been chairman over EMS and fire. So it's a new beginning. Good luck in your future. And like I said, you'll sorely be missed in the county, I'm sure, because Commissioner Thompson.
I'll repeat that. We appreciate what you've done. Are you that old enough to retire?
I've got enough years in.
No.
I was thinking you said 90. You started in can I?
Yes,
You
please.
started in 90 doing it, right? Yes, sir. I'm 51 years old. Do they have any programs like that now? You know, where the kids can actually come in and on-job training just like you did?
We have the volunteer program, which you have to be 18 to be a part of. There used to be an Explorer program where younger teenagers could join. It's a hassle, a liability. A lot of things have moved away from that in today's society, just to be very honest with you. But 18 volunteering can start, or you can apply for full-time at that time. But there's some educational stuff that I know they want to try to get in the schools and stuff, and we go to all the career days and stuff. But what little boy don't say at some point in time when he's growing up, I want to be a fireman or a policeman or, something else. So it's always in the forethought.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Winters?
Sean, for the last 3 years, we have called your department several times. And I can say that you all have been professional. You all have been supportive. You all have been sensitive. When your wife can't move and she's on the bed, she's got a broken leg, you want people to take good care. You want people not only to be professional, but also to be kind, and also to even in some cases joke about so you broke your leg and break the moments. So congratulations for a great career. And I know you two men sitting beside you will carry on to the highest level that you've had. So thanks for what you do. I think I speak for a lot of people that in those moments of crisis, you guys step up, and ladies, and congratulations on your time. You're early enough in retirement to do a lot of things. We're going to see a lot of things from you. And congratulations to you two that are going to take the reins. You're going to be great. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Winters.
You want- Commissioner?
I'm gonna jump on that one a little bit. You've had to come to before finance a few times with budget requests. I want to say I appreciate the job you've done for fire and EMS. This morning I saw on the news that you had some people down in Chattanooga. I guess a house was donated and they did some training and stuff like that down there. So you're not on the call, you're out there training. I mean, you're always on the go. You got a duty roster and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate what you've done. Taking the fire department, it used to be, back in the contract days, and then we went to professional, and you saw all through all that. So congratulations on your retirement, and I wish you all the best in the next chapter of your world. Thank you.
Mr. Blake.
Commissioner Winters, I caught something you said, that I have to say something that says a lot for Chief Fairbanks. When you said the two men to your side, he was going to do a good job. He was doing the job of two men and took two men to replace him. So it says a lot of what he was doing.
I don't know about
But
that.
anyway, but for Chief Stewart, I look forward to seeing you in the future. I don't know if I'll be the chairman because we're separating the two. If I'll be the chairman over water, even if I'm chair over either one. But definitely look forward to working with you. I believe you'll do a good job. You came with strong recommendations, I hear. So good luck in your future. And with that, staffing, how are we doing, Chief Stewart?
First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor and everyone that's given me this opportunity. I've been with, again, my name is Jeff Stewart, the ones that don't know me. I've been with the department since it's my 20th year. Started out here with it as a volunteer at Chatham Valley. Started on the paid staff when it first opened up, and I've been here ever since. So I really look forward to working with each and every one of you and even into the future. So right now, we have a recruit class going on. That graduation is going to be September the 8th at 1 p.m. at Community Church on Dalton Pike. That recruit class has 9 recruits in it. Right now, they're in the middle of their EMR week, their medical weeks. They have 2 more weeks after that, fire training, their last fire scenarios, and then they'll be placed on a truck on the September the 9th is when they'll start on a truck. That will make us fully staffed at 75. And that's on far staffing wise.
Fully staffed. Any other questions?
That's total staffing? That's all you need? Just a moment.
Pretty amazing, actually.
All we need is cell phone.
I'm sorry, you need more than 75?
I'd like to have more than
You
75.
like that?
But this recruit class will put us at our staff, fully staffing wise.
Lori, can you write that down for the calendar? Laura, Commissioner Gibson's, Hart Gilbert is wanting to. Yes, please. Fire equipment, how are we doing on fire equipment?
Everything's good right now. We, like I said, Chief Fairbanks had talked about, we placed all the thermal imaging cameras on the trucks. We're doing our normal routine summer maintenance on our SCBA bottles. That's fit testing, bottle checks, as well as dye bottles, SCBA bottles, all the normal maintenance that we kind of put towards the summertime. All the equipment so far looks good. You have your normal things that kind of pop up that need to be fixed or maintained. So, but everything's looking good. We have our ladder testings in October, and of course, fire prevention's coming up in the next few weeks.
New ladder truck doing well?
Yes, the new aerial truck's going good. Just trying to keep trained up on it, and it's a piece of equipment that, but everything's great on it.
Good. Any other questions? Commissioner
Hey,
Langford?
Chief Stewart, I noticed a couple of weeks ago that I was traveling down 64 Highway coming to Inman Street, and at the old recycle center there, my Cognizant Recycle Center, I seen about 5 fire trucks there. What is that? What's going on there?
What that is that salvage yard, I'm trying to talk on the mic and look at you at the same time. That salvage yard allows us to come in and do training. So what we do is we rotate everyone out. They're there today. So between all 3 shifts, they allow us to cut on those vehicles, and they move them and put a new one back for us for nothing. So we really, really appreciate those different companies in the community allows us to do that.
I thought so. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that because I noticed that as I was traveling through, and I thought, okay, they're doing something. So I inquired about it, and that's what they told me. So I just wanted you to say that to the committee. Thank you.
All right, we have about 10 minutes to the next one, so I'm gonna make it really quick. Fire building maintenance. Do we have any updates on I believe it's Emma Street building there?
No update on that right now, as far as that I know of. We're just continuing with our normal building maintenance inside of it, but I've not heard anything personally.
Well, I don't guess we've heard anything back from the city on that. We're waiting. City on in. Hopefully that comes to pass.
Any other questions? Seeing none, let's move on to other business. Is there any other business anyone wants to talk about? And seeing none, communication from the audience. Is there anyone in the audience wants to speak? I'll give you 5 minutes and go from there. And I'm gonna give you about